of the different groups that have come back to incarnate, to help the planet ascend. I think the Indigos are the strongest of the spiritual warriors. These children come in with such a heightened sense of truth and awareness. The most important thing that the angels want the Indigos and also the parents of Indigos to know that there is nothing wrong with these children. They are so divinely ordered to be exactly as they've come in to be. And the message for them is to stand in their truth, is to be as authentic, open, honest, and transparent as they possibly can, is to believe in themselves. And the more they believe in themselves, the more that they will shine this enormous light on the contrasts of things and the status quo that people have just taken for granted for so long, and to keep showing up those differences over and over again. They consciously chose to come back to bring the new age of peace to the planet. Some of the characteristics of Indigos are that they are highly sensitive, they are have a heightened sense of psychic awareness, they are natural healers, and one thing that they do have is they have this natural barometer inside of them, this internal lie detector. They know without a shadow of a doubt when somebody is telling an untruth. They are often seen as combative. They are often seen as argumentative. They are the generation that is going to show us the truth, and it makes people uncomfortable. A lot of things that have been put in place that are the status quo, the ritual way of doing things, following things that have not been in the best interest for us, things to do with the environment, things to do with governance, things to do with health and food and lifestyle, and all of these things were mainly put into place for the betterment of a few and to make gobs of money out of things. And the Indigos come along and they say, no, there has to be a different way, and is shining their tremendous light on doing things differently. This is probably the most important thing, is that they are surrounded and supported by other Indigos, so that they know that they're not alone in the world, and that there are others out there that share their ideas, share their way of doing things, and it's beautiful to see them come together because they have this natural bond with one another, and they're really strength in numbers. One of the most important things that we can do is to also listen, acknowledge, and validate what these children are saying to us. The Indigos, the crystals, the rainbows, they come in with such a heightened sense of telepathic awareness. I know that the crystal children, many of them didn't start speaking till like they were 3 or 4 years of age. It's because they didn't need to speak. They were picking things up telepathically, and they were certainly seeing, perceiving, and hearing angels. And so when they would come to the parents, and the parents would say, oh, that's nice, that's just your imaginary friend, or that's your overactive imagination, it really belittles the child. And so if you can really validate what the child is speaking about, this can help them enormously. When my children were young, they thrived best in rituals and having schedules. This gave them a sense of protection. It gave them a sense of knowing what was coming, and security, and feeling safe. A lot of these children have been labeled with attention deficit, they've been labeled with autism, they've been labeled with Asperger's, they've been labeled with all of these different things because they've been born of a higher energetic frequency, and they're bucking the system. Even though they are so vastly different from the previous generation, is to treat them with respect, treat them with honor, and acknowledge them for exactly who they are. And please do not try to change them, because God made them exactly combative the way they are in order to change the world. For the parents, acknowledge truly, listen, acknowledge, and validate your indigo children, because once you do this, with that support and that's empowerment, it's going to help them illuminate and radiate who they are, shine this out to the world, and we all do so much better when we are acknowledged for exactly who we are. Another thing for the educators and the teachers and the health practitioners is to really know that these children learn differently. They don't learn, many of them don't learn just by sitting still and just reciting facts. Many of them need to walk around when they're being taught. They need to lie down. They need to move about the classroom. These children are like little diamonds. That's what they're like. And it reminds me of the original word for education in ancient Greek, which is the word eduko. And eduko actually does not mean to educate, although a lot of people think it means to educate. It actually means to lead forth. And a good educator, a good parent, and a good teacher will see what is inside each one of these children that's like a diamond, that if we take the time to look inside that child and to polish what is inside of them, then they will radiate this very important, integral puzzle piece of the planet to bring forth, for not only for the betterment of themselves, but the greatest good for all concerned. The way to get to the indigos is through creativity. If they're interested in something, to then teach them through some creative bent, whether it be surrounded with music of that historical time, or whether to involve painting, or whether to involve dance, or some kind of creative endeavor. Because if they're interested in it, and then you marry that with the creativity, then magic happens. God loved us so much that He provided us with these angelic beings to help protect us, guide us, to empower us, to support us. One of the greatest things that we can do as educators or the parents of children is to start a dialogue, an open, honest dialogue about our angelic connection with children from an early age. As they get older, it's probably more important for them to have that assuredness of that angelic connection. When they go through those pre-teen years, those early teen years, and they start to doubt themselves, they start to maybe have peer pressure, they start to see themselves as, different, to have that angelic connection around for empowerment and support, and also that they can bounce off their ideas and their concerns and know that they've been heard and acknowledged for exactly who they are, is going to help them in those more difficult years. Many children and many adults don't ask for things in their lives. The angels, and certainly we have to tell the child that, if you want a puppy, it's not magically the angel won't give you a puppy in the next 5 minutes, but they will take your prayers up to God, and then God decides the how and the when of this happening. But really, truly, all prayers are answered for the greatest good of the child. Say to the child, now, while you're sleeping, we're going to call in the angels, and the angels are going to provide protection and watch over you when you sleep. And it's like this great weight that we take off of ourselves at night. It's like this coat that we've been wearing of our concerns or anything that happened during the day, and we give it over, and then immediately we feel better. It's very much like when we're unwell and we decide to call the doctor and we make the appointment. When we hang the phone up, oftentimes we say, oh, I feel so much better just having made that appointment. And, because we're all healers inside of ourselves, just for the mere fact that we've given over those concerns to the angels. You can say to the child, the angels are at the foot of your bed, and they're at the head of your bed, and they're surrounding the room with this beautiful white golden light of protection. And so, you don't have nothing to worry about when you go to sleep at night. If the child has a nightmare, is to call in Archangel Michael. There are so many images of Archangel Michael with his sword and his shield as a protection, and you can tell the child Archangel Michael is here to protect you through the night, so that there is nothing that would be unsettling for you or that could harm you in any way. Another archangel for a specific issue is Archangel Raphael if the child is sick. If the child is not feeling well, is to bring in and actually visualize that green healing emerald light of Archangel Raphael, to bathe the room in that healing light, and to say Archangel Raphael is here, and he's helping you to ease whatever discomfort you're feeling. Then they will take this as a natural course, knowing that God has provided everyone as a gift. It's a blessing to us, so that we are never alone.